Hello and welcome to this video. Today we're gonna review one of the data fix tools that are available in dynamic supply chain management. Correct inventory transfer order lines manually. The correct inventory transfer order lines manually is a self-service tool that helps the administrator users to fix the data corruption and correct the unexpected quantities that are related to the transfer orders. Definitely, this will reduce the user spend time until fixing the data corruption and streamline the supply chain management process with zero downtime. The correct inventory transfer order lines is utilizing a predefined logic that could identify and correct the data corruption from the user interface without the need to run data fix scripts or to engage someone who has a technical knowledge. Using this feature, you can recalculate and correct the transfer order related quantities like the shipped quantity, the remaining received quantity, and the remaining shipped quantity. Recalculate and fix the orphaned inventory transactions. Recalculate and correct the transfer order header status. Last but not least, you can recover the removed transfer orders as long as the inventory transactions and the transfer order lines are still exist. This feature is enabled by default and is available since release 10.0.25 underneath the cleanup periodic tasks of the inventory management module. This feature is introduced since application release 10.0.25 to correct the shipped quantity by using the recalculate transfer related quantities option. Then, in 10.0.26 release, the Recalculate Transfer Related Quantities option is enhanced to correct the remaining quantity received as well. And a new option was introduced to recalculate and fix the orphaned inventory transactions. After that, in 10.0.27 release, it's possible to correct the remaining shipped quantity by using the Recalculate Transfer Related Quantities option. And there are two options that are introduced to correct the transfer order header status, and the second one to recover the transfer orders that have been removed as long as the inventory transactions and the transfer order lines are exist. And now the question that probably came into your mind. What are the potential reasons for the transfer order data corruption? And I would say this is either a customization issue, an integration issue, or it could also be an issue in the standard application. Personally, I don't remember that I came across a known issue in the standard application that caused data corruption. However, if you identify something wrong in the standard application, then I would encourage you to submit a service request so the engineering team of the product group can fix it. Now let's review some examples of data corruption issues in transfer orders and how the correct transfer order lines manually feature can resolve them. I intently corrupted some transfer orders for the demo purposes. Let's get started with the first option, recalculate transfer related quantities. This option is used so far to recalculate and correct the shipped quantity, ship remaining quantity, and receive remaining quantity. Now let's review this transfer order where I'm getting several error messages while processing the order. First, let's try to ship this transfer order. So here in the ship tab, I'll click ship transfer order. Then I'm gonna ship the remaining quantity. Here we can see the ship quantity is 2. I'll click OK. Then I'm getting an error message here. The error message stating that under delivery of the line is 10%, but the allowed under delivery percentage is 0. Definitely, I can go here in the transfer order lines and increase the under delivery percentage, but this is not a solution. This is just a workaround to overcome the error message. We should investigate the transfer order data and review the inventory transactions to identify and figure out the real root cause of this issue. For now, let's try to receive the transfer order. So I'll go here in the receive tab. I'll click receive. Then I'm going to receive the remaining quantity. Here we can see the received quantity is 10. I'll click OK. Then we are getting here another error message stating that insufficient inventory transactions with status on order, reserved ordered, reserved physical, and picked. Looking into the transfer order line, here we can see that the transfer quantity is 10 eaches, where the shipped quantity is 10 eaches as well. This means that this order line is supposed to be fully shipped. But here we can see the remaining shipped quantity is 2 eaches, and this means that this order line is not fully shipped, and this is somehow matches the remaining status of the order line. So here we can see the status is still shipping updates. By reviewing the values of the shipped quantity and the ship remain quantity, definitely one or both of them is incorrect. I would expect either the ship remain quantity to be 0, assuming that the transfer order line is fully shipped and the shipped quantity is correct, or probably the shipped quantity equal 8, assuming that the ship remaining quantity is correct. It's important to mention here that we should not just rely on the order quantity while validating the order line. This is due to the fact that the order line could have over delivery or under delivery. And now the question, how can we validate the correct quantities? And the thing that we can rely on to recalculate and review the correct quantity is the inventory transactions. Now let's navigate to the inventory transactions. So from the inventory transactions, we can see here that there are 7 eaches that have been sold from warehouse 01, and there are being reserved physical in the transit warehouse 12. This means that the shipped quantity should be 7 eaches. Then here in the receiving warehouse 17, the entire 10 eaches are being ordered. This means that the remaining received quantity should be 10 eaches. And also, we understand that the remaining shipped quantity should be 3 eaches. This means that the shipped quantity is incorrect, the ship remaining quantity is incorrect as well, where the received remaining quantity is correct. Now let's see how to correct and recalculate the transfer order quantities. So I'll navigate to the correct inventory transfer order lines manually feature that found in inventory management module, periodic task, then cleanup. Then here I'll just mark and enable the option of recalculate transfer related quantities. Then I'll filter here the transfer order number, then I'll click OK. So right now we can see that the remain ship quantities have been corrected for line 1 from 2. So this right now equal 3. And also the shipped quantities have been corrected from 10 to be equal 7. If I go back right now to the transfer order, click refresh. So right now we can see the shipped quantity equal 7, ship remain equal 3 as expected. Now let's review the second option, recalculate inventory transactions. This option is used to fix the corrupted inventory transactions. So far, it handles two scenarios. The first one, if the received transfer order still have ordered transactions, and the second one, when the transfer order is still linked to a completed output order. Now let's see a quick demo of the first scenario. So here, this is a received transfer order. When we look into the transfer order lines, we can see the transfer quantity is 1, where the shipped and received quantity both equal 1 each. When we look into the ship remain and receive remain, both equal 0. That means this transfer order is fully received. However, when I look into the inventory transactions of this transfer order, here we can see we have an orphaned transaction with the status ordered. Definitely, this will impact the on hand of this item, and we cannot remove it from the application UI. What we can do here, I'll navigate to the correct inventory transfer order lines manually form, then I'll set the option of recalculate inventory transactions to yes, then here in the filter, I'll filter by the transfer order. Pay attention that the default filter of the transfer status is created or shipped. However, this transfer order is fully received. So either we can add here the status of received or we can remove this filter at all. I'll remove the filter and keep only the transfer order number. Then I'll click OK. Here we can see that cleaned up non-financially updated inventory transactions for the transfer order on line number 1. If I'll go back to the transfer order, let's refresh, then I'll navigate to the inventory transactions. And here we can see the inventory transaction has been removed. And now let's move to the second scenario. So this is a transfer order with a status created, and I'm trying to ship this transfer order. However, I can see the ship transfer order button is disabled. I would think that maybe the picking list registration is not performed yet. So first, I'll check the picking list registration. And here we can see that the picking list registration has handling status completed. And even if I'll navigate to the output order, I can see the output order of this transfer order has a status ended. So I would expect right now that maybe the inventory transactions of this transfer order line is still referenced or linked to the output order. As per the intended design, when you generate a picking list for a transfer order, output order will be generated and the inventory transactions of this transfer order line will be referenced or linked to this output order. But when this output order is ended, this reference should be removed. Just to make sure that this is the issue, I'll navigate to the inventory transactions, and indeed, I can see here the inventory reference is still linked to the output order. What we can do right now, I'll navigate to the correct inventory transfer order lines manual, then I'll set this option, recalculate inventory transactions to yes, then I'll apply a filter here on this transfer order. I'll click OK. Then here we can see cleaned up orphan child reference for this transfer order. And if I'll go back right now to the transfer order, I'll click refresh. Great. So I can see now that I can ship this transfer order. And if I check the inventory transactions right now of this transfer order line, we can see here that the inventory reference is cleared. So I'll go back to the transfer order, then I'll ship this transfer order. Now let's review the third option, recalculate header status. This option is used to correct the transfer order status based on the transfer line status. So each line could be in three status. The first one, shipping updates until the line is fully shipped. Then receiving updates until the line is fully received. And after that, the line status will be nothing, where the transfer order header status could be created, shipped, or received. If the transfer order status is incorrect, then using this option, the header status could be recalculated and corrected based on the transfer order line status. So this tool assumes that the line status is always correct. Let's review this transfer order. So here I can see the status header is shipped. However, when I look into the transfer order lines, I can see the remaining status is nothing. That means this transfer order line is supposed to be fully received. When I look into the transfer quantity is equal 1, where the shipped and received quantity both are equal 1. Here I can see that the ship remain and receive rename both are 0. So that means that somehow the transfer order line status is correct. Just to double check and make sure that the transfer order line status is correct, I'll navigate to the inventory transactions. And here I can see that one each has been sold from this warehouse 01, and this one each has been received in the warehouse 17. So this definitely means that the transfer order line status is correct and the header status is incorrect. And now let's navigate to the correct inventory transfer order lines manually feature and see how to correct the transfer order status. So here, I'll keep the recalculate transfer related quantities just in case if there are incorrect quantities, so it would be corrected as well. But the important option here is the recalculate header status. I'll set this option to yes, then I'll click OK. Let's review the info log. So here in the info log, corrected header status for the transfer order from shipped, and right now it's received. If I'll go back to the transfer order, click refresh. So right now the header status is received. Now let's review the last option, recover header. This option is used to recover the unexpectedly removed transfer orders as long as the transfer order is not fully received and the transfer order line and the related inventory transactions are still exist. Now let's review the scenario. So here I'm in the inventory transactions form and I'm inquiring about the open transfer orders. Here I can see we have an order and it seems from the inventory transactions that this is still open order. So I'll navigate to the transfer order form in order to review and process this order. I'll click here on the hyperlink, but here in the transfer order form, it seems that this transfer order has been removed. What we can do right now, we can recover this transfer order from the correct inventory transfer order lines manually form. I'll set the option of recover header to yes. Then here in the filter, I can apply a filter on a specific transfer order, or you can keep it blank so all the removed transfer orders could be retrieved. I'll click OK. Then here we can see the message stating that recovered header for transfer order. So this transfer order is recovered. I'll navigate back to the transfer order form, then I click refresh, and here we can see the transfer order is currently available. I can process the transfer order right now, so I can ship or receive the transfer order, or I can delete the transfer order if the transfer order is not required anymore. This was a quick walkthrough on how to troubleshoot and investigate the data corruption issues that are related to transfer orders and how to fix them by using the self-service data fix tool, correct inventory transfer order lines manually. Thank you for your time and watching this session. Reach out if I can help. Take care and good luck.